are we? I know what's going on. What the living fuck is that in the background? What the living fuck is that in the background? Ah, let's change all that. There we go. That looks better. That looks like something that I did in Brazil. I look a bit homeless. Been a bit sweaty today. I've just moved a pile of boxes in the last few seconds. It's tough shit. Old Grumpy Mama said the audio was fine, so if it sounds bad, I'm not changing it now because I haven't got any feedback on it as I should have. So I just cracked open a Brooklyn Brewery Pilsner. So that's for your. It's not for you. Your anything. It's not for your anything. It's for me and my day. It's for my day. Right. What's going on? What's going on in these goddamn comments? Oh, I can see it here. There we go. So it is bad, and I don't need filters, and it's it's because I don't have any feedback on my mixer. So normally I can set it to be pretty good, but it's since I got it out of storage, it is all so it's getting a bit when I'm too close. Is that the case? I wish I'd have said that when we did the test. But yeah, it's hard. I can't get any. It's a long story. I haven't got any headphones to listen to it, and they get a bit delayed anyway. It's not the best mixer in the world, but I should be getting better feedback visually to this with lights and shit. But I'm just not getting it. Something's happened to it in storage. Maybe it's full of spiders. But if as long as I'm, is it too muffly when I'm like this far back? This is what I wanted to try and avoid, but I haven't avoided it. Is it better if I'm a little further away? That's literally fuck all I can do. I can maybe turn the gain down a bit, but then I might be too quiet. Yeah, it's not doing what it says on the tin, basically, today. Okay. So I've turned down the gain a little bit. We'll figure it out. I'll listen back and I'll know better, and I'll just have to invest in some shit this week. Okay, fine, good. Welcome to it's an episode, isn't it? Last Rites. So this will be on YouTube currently, and if you haven't, just give us a subscribe, and if you're on Twitch, give us a follow. I'm going to be reading. It's going to be difficult for me to read, but I'm going to be reading "Disaster on the Thames," which is the best. I will be getting a book deal out of this. There's a picture of the Thames Barrier, which is a flood barrier in London, and that I don't know. That looks like there's something going on up here. But it is written in pencil, so it might be difficult for me to read, and all the writing goes down at an angle. It is, however, about 10 times as neat as my current writing. Let me look in the camera. The last page is so much clearer. It's like 3 pages, so don't worry about it. It's 3 pages. We'll yeah. It's also, it's not the story I thought it was. I must have written another one. I wrote another one that went more in depth into some stuff. This is, I think I was about 10. That's what it seems to be. So I don't know. I've got a contents page. Page 1, chapter 1, the accident. Page 2, chapter 1 continued, and chapter 2. So it's like a chapter per page. Chapter 2 is called Kidnapped. Page 4, epilogue. So I guess chapter 2 is a long one. It's 2 pages. 2 pages. Right, I'm going to start this in a minute, basically. But I hope everyone's well. This room is very musty now. I'm going to have to put like an air filter on or something. It is. I got all this shit out of storage. Most of it just needs to be stored away. Most of it's books. I've got some under the bed. I've got some. But what I've been left with is a lot of shit that I can't fit anywhere. I've got other places to put it, so I can try more. But in a day, I've done pretty well. I've got my monitor set up. I've got the mic set up. I've got, bits and pieces. A couple of kitchen shit to unload tomorrow. That's mostly food. Because, yes, I stored food in storage, which is illegal. I thought that was a nice thing to do. Just like lasagna sheets and spices that have been in there like 7 months. But yeah, so it's nice getting set up with my gear. I tidied up all my cables and shit today, and yeah, I'm gonna get a desk probably just after Christmas. So I might be over in that side of the room when I'm in this room. So I've got to set up some stuff for the background and all that. But for now, it's here. I'm sat on my bed. It is what it is. The love nest, some might say. By some, I mean me. I don't know if you're into soup. Heinz mulligatawny soup. It's one of my favourite soups. Lovely. They did a recipe a few years ago. I'm telling you, it's growing on me. I don't know why it's on my desk, though, is what I'm saying. I just don't know why it's there. Will you make us do a tour of your new place? I don't know about make you, but I could maybe. Today will be difficult because I've got the cameras on a tripod now, and I'll have to do it on a phone or something. If I can, yeah, I'll do a stream from my phone and give you a proper tour soon, maybe later this week. So I might as well just go ahead. Forgive me if I read a bit slowly. I did have to glance at it earlier because it's really difficult to read. It's faded. It's fucking years old. But I'm now an author. And I don't know whether I should, update this. Who the fucking hell's that? Do you know when someone's call you and you want to Google the... Oh, okay. I know what company it is. It's fine. Hey Kelly. Hey Lunchbox Chef. Ken will be proud. Listen, I'm gonna write books, and I'm gonna actually take my time to write them, and they're gonna be fucking brilliant. I'm telling you that now. That's something I thought of today. This is obviously something I did when I was 10, though. Again, disaster on the Thames. It's the Thames Barrier. You can Google what it actually looks like. Thought it was pretty good. So I'm just going to go for it. And whoever joins late will have to join late. It's only like 4 pages. Disaster on the Thames. 1. The accident. Gary and Ian. Already we're having problems with character names. Gary and Ian. They're family members' names. What the fuck am I doing? Gary and Ian were on a river bus on their way to the Thames Barrier with their school. As they neared their destination, Ian started cracking jokes, and in the end was sent into another part of the boat when nobody was. This is why it's hard to read. It's just literally faded pencil. Another part of the boat when nobody was by his teacher. That sounds like that happened to me. I think that happened to me on that school trip. I think I was fucking around and I got sent to the boat. This is basically me, because we did go to the Thames Barrier on a school trip. So then I went into Fantasyland instead of listening to the educational purposes, I think. Suddenly, we're getting straight into it. Suddenly, there was an explosion. Gary looked out of the window. There'd been a bomb. He's already made the conclusion. It's a bomb on the barrier, and the door from the control room was headed straight for the boat. Now, I don't know if you... Oh, it comes apart. The book comes apart. This might get confusing. I don't know if you remember the illustration. I think that's what I'm depicting there. There's an explosion and a door heading off. Is that a boat? No. I don't know why one part of the scene's green either. The part of the sea is green. There was a crashing of glass as the door hit another cabin's window. The bolt pulled out to the side of the Thames, and everybody got out. The boat was left to drift out in case there was a bomb on that too. Already made conclusions. They've done the investigation. Again, it's hard to find your place on here. It's fucking so difficult because the writing literally goes like this. But it's beautiful. I don't know how the fuck I wrote this. It's so neat. It's so neat. In case there was a bomb on that too, then the teacher remembered that Ian was still on the boat. Remember? He got sent to the back. This is what I'm thinking about. It's me. Inside, Ian had been hit on the arm by the door and flung against the wall and knocked himself out. ! Out. It took a while and brought Ian out. Ian was rushed to hospital and with the teachers and the class was kept with the police. This doesn't make any. I'm gonna have to rewrite this for Netflix when Netflix come calling. At the hospital, Ian was put in the emergency ward, and no visitors were allowed. He was still breathing, but he was still unconscious. The monitor beside him was still zigzaggy. I assume, I mean, beep, beep, beep. So he was okay. He could have been a vegetable. I didn't do any medical research on this at all. He was okay. Later, he might have just been left unconscious and fingered for 50 years. I need to expand on it. The sequel. We'll do it in the sequel. Later on, he was taken out of the emergency ward. That's good. We're getting there. We're like halfway through the book now. And put in another ward. Pointless. Back at the Thames, Gary was getting into a frightened worry. He was getting into a frightened worry about Ian. He was shaking with fear and running around asking everyone if he would be all right. That's annoying, isn't it? Asking everyone, is he going to be okay? After a while, he got fed up and snuck off to a nearby phone. He phoned his parents. There was no answer. He lived in Newcastle anyway, so they couldn't really get to London. I don't know, what's that? Is it a comment on the lack of love in the household? I think it's great so far. I don't know if you're revered. That's chapter 1. Chapter 2, kidnapped. So I don't know what's going to happen in this one. As he walked away from the phone, again, straight into it, there's no messing around. As he walked away from the phone, Gary was pulled aside by a tall figure. He tried to shout, but the man put a hand over Gary's mouth. He was taken to a helicopter where he was flown back to the barrier gates. He was taken inside the control room and was tied up. Kinky kidnappers. There were 5 more men walking about. They were obviously other kidnappers. Not stupid. He too was tied up, but up on the wall. Then, so I'm tied on a wall and I'm referring to other people that are tied up. And there's no mention of them. This is plot holes. Then a gun was put on a stand. What does that even say? Opposite him, exclamation mark. One of the kidnappers loaded the gun and said, if you move one little bit, I'll blow you to bits. It's not how guns work, is it? But Gary did not like the sound of that. So he kept still. All the kidnappers then went out of the room. Gary started kicking, trying to get the rope loose, but he couldn't. The kidnappers came in and untied Gary to give him some food and drink. So this doesn't even sound that bad. Also, there's an illustration of a private room here. So I don't know why I've done that. Yeah. As they untied him, he kicked them away and ran out of the room. Yeah. I've been watching too many Van Damme movies, I think, at this point. He ran to the helicopter, but was caught by one of the kidnappers standing near the helicopter. Unbelievable that they left a kidnapper standing near the helicopter. There's so much description. It's like Lord of the Rings book 1. They walked through fucking leaves for 10 years. What the fuck is Tom Bombadil anyway? Back at the river with the police, one of Gary's friends noticed Gary's absence. He informed the police about this, and as soon as they realized, the police immediately started looking for him. Inside the gate, Gary was getting worried. Then he had an idea. He started to whisper to himself. I think he's talking to, which is something that my entire 6-hour drive yesterday, I was just narrating the whole thing. Yeah, we'll move over there. We'll let them. I talk to myself all fucking day. So when I'm streaming, it's just the same. It's just I'm doing this. I probably did this to myself earlier. Who knows? There must be someone who can fly the helicopter. After all, someone must be a pilot. Yeah. Why would there be one there, though? Someone must be a pilot. Eventually, this goes straight into it. There's no messing around. This is pacing. This isn't Daenerys walking through the desert for 5 years and then going mental. This is getting through it. This is House of Dragon stuff. Eventually, one was found. No explanation how you found a pilot. Or No description even. Who is this pilot? Okay, caught my place up again. Gary whispered his plan and then remembered his knots that he had learned at Scouts, probably between being molested. As we all know, the Scouts were primarily invented for molesting small boys, and then sometimes they let them make fires or whatever. He untied his leg knot as his hands were free. Why didn't they tie his hands up? He then untied the knot around his neck. There was no mention about being hung. He untied the rest of the hostages and went to see the pilot. Just there, I don't know why the kidnappers are letting this pilot walk around and a child to go up whispering plans. It's insane. It's insane kidnapping. Just then, straight to it again, a police helicopter flew over and said through a loudspeaker, "You have exactly half an hour to let the hostages free and give yourselves up." But imagine it through a loudspeaker, if you will. The terrorists rushed to the window. Now the terrorists, how I guess they've blown up a flood barrier. Yeah, I guess it's terrorism. The terrorists rushed to the window in the other room. Gary and the others went outside. So again, no guarding. Went outside and went to the helicopter. Where's the kidnapper that was guarding the helicopter now? They had no problem there. So there's the answer. Fine. But as they took off, one of the kidnappers came running out and shot at the helicopter. Some of the bullets hit the tail, so it was knocked out of control. So I knew what? Yeah, I guess it could happen. Gary thought that they were going to crash, but they just about got there safely. Where? As soon as they landed, Gary rushed out and told everyone about his experiences. After that, he asked the police if they would take him to the hospital where Ian was. How did he know that he was there? They agreed and took him. When they arrived, Ian had regained consciousness. That's a big word. And was sitting up in bed. Gary rushed and told Ian about what had happened. Ian also told Gary about his experiences. I think I needed to go into more detail. And that's it. That's chapter 2. Epilogue. There's an epilogue. 1 week later, when Ian was out of hospital, the press came to see Gary. It's like a yearning for fame. The press came to see Gary and Ian. Took lots of pictures. Lots of pictures were taken. And this was in the pages 51, 52, and 53. Looked like. So the story, the huge terrorism and kidnapping on the River Thames, one of the newest pieces of infrastructure, made pages 51, 52, and 53. So the first headline, and I've drawn a little newspaper, is 10-year-old boy saves lives. I must have had such low fucking self-esteem. It's like, why can I never do anything? I need to invent a hero story for me. And then the sub-headline, so it's 10-year-old boy saves lives. The subheading is also other boy knocked out by a flying door. So it's just disrespecting what Ian did for the situation. See page 50. Oh, because now the headline knows it's 50. But that's the headline that I drew. Look, little boy, 10-year-old boy saves lives. Also, down the side. Come on, focus, you prick. Anyway, also, other boy knocked out by flying door. There's another page in the newspaper. Flying door knocks out boy. So Ian did get some stuff. He did get some stuff going on. Flying door knocks out boy. A little illustration there. And then this I thought was quite inventive. The clever and the unlucky. Two friends after their adventures, and I've drawn the little friends, right? The clever and the unlucky, which I think I might make a proper book out of this. Look in the middle, like they're the friends sitting opposite each other. That is brilliant. Two friends and their adventures. So after the photos, Gary and Ian were taken to dinner at a restaurant, along with their families, all paid for by the police. It's also a random piece of fantasy at the end. There's 3 blank pages because I didn't understand folding paper. But my teacher wrote a comment. I can't even remember what teacher this is. Mrs. Turl, maybe. Well done to finish. You've written a good story, Carl. finish off the front cover illustration. So when I handed it in, I reckon it was. I don't reckon it was up to this standard, basically. Yeah. Oh, is that what it says at Twitch? Well, there's none of that anywhere. Don't worry about it. Just you're going to see dicks. I can't believe I'm drinking again. I didn't even want to drink today. That's it. I mean, that's the excitement. I was really disappointed when I read this because I thought it was another story that went into like a ceasefire of the IRA, and I did write one of those. So if I can find that, it will be amazing. But it did intrigue me that I was 10, and I think if a 10-year-old today wrote a story like this about their school trip, I think they'd see a psychiatrist. That's what would happen. But nobody really had therapy in the UK in the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s. Really, it's only really the last sort of 4 or 5 years people can go, yeah, sometimes I have therapy. I won't. I'll just crack on. But also the writing, it's in pencil. So if you can see it, I think it's pretty neat. I think it's pretty neatly written. Certainly a lot neater than I don't even recognize it as my own handwriting. I don't know how I got it that neat. I don't ever remember writing like that, but it does all go down the page. So there you go. I think maybe I could flesh this out. Maybe I should write a 5,000 word short story about this and try and make it better. I could do that, but I don't know. I was just so shocked when I took the lid off this box last week. And I was like, fucking hell, disaster on the Thames. That's wild. There you go. That's it. What a waste of time. What a waste of your time and my time that was. And why did I keep it for 150 years? Yeah, sticks. Okay, that's it. That's the end of the story. I'm not going to stick around long today, by the way. I'll get banned then, won't I? Do that. I will absolutely get banned. I'm thinking to myself though. I'm checking out a football score between Japan and Croatia. See if anyone actually won that in the end. Still 1-1 after extra time. Because I'm proud of it. Well, I think I was proud of it at the time because I never finished any work for school ever, and it was always on a screwed up piece of paper, and I just so embarrassed I'd throw it in the bin and just literally say, "Look, my dog ate it," even though I don't have a dog. But I think I used to lie about having a dog in 9 Elm Street 4, I think, or maybe 3. Kincaid had a dog called Jason, and I used to go around telling people I had a dog called Jason. And I think I used to tell people my middle name was Jason because I thought the name Jason was really cool. Maybe after Jason Voorhees as well. So I lied. My name should have been Matthew. I was called Carl. My middle name is Matthew. But I used to tell people, I used to write on my books, Carl, Jason, Matt. What a stupid fuck. I don't know about that. 10, yeah. And I'm almost certain I was 10 because I've got a memory of the teacher or the school I was at. So at 12, I went to, I guess, high school, right? So 10 and 11 were these final 2 years at middle school, and I think I was in the first one of those. So that's kind of doing a bit of fucking around there. But yeah, I think so. But now when I think about it, it wouldn't have made sense because I think it was about 2 years later that I wrote the story about the ceasefire with the IRA and how they'd broken the ceasefire. And I think I got kidnapped again. Maybe it wasn't kids even in that one, but that I got them confused. So I was thinking of the better story. That needs some work. You want it to be called Jackie so you have no say? Well, I think I look like a Carl because I don't know any other. I think I met one yesterday. The guy that was running the story or working the desk at the storage unit was called Carl with a K, the German spelling. Even though my family are German, so they should have spelled it that way as well. I should be with a K, right? This is all right. It's a bit warm. Again, Brooklyn Pilsner. I found these last week in can form, and I just found these big bottles today. So I'm having a couple of these. But yeah, I'm looking a bit because I've literally been lugging boxes, driving, and sorting shit out in this room. I'm surrounded by boxes, but it's pretty much I've gone through it, so I know what's there at least. I'm disappointed. I must have left my lamp. I must have just when I ran away from my old home, I must have left my lamp in there. I left a lot of shit in that place when I left because I would like some purple light. I felt that burp come from like right down there. I felt it all the way up. It's disgusting. Carl, yeah, casual xenophobia. It's fine. Maybe I just wanted to be kidnapped. Maybe. But I must have had, like, because I obviously watched a lot of movies when I was a kid that I shouldn't have. I must have had, you know, don't know about wanting to be kidnapped, but definitely an imagination. Strange times. I don't even know why I've got these. I tried to put these back in, I think I tried to put those back in. But it doesn't matter because I can't hear anything out of them anyway. And there's nothing to hear even. So I think I'll bail fairly soon. Can't even remember because when I was on with Brock, we couldn't even remember. I subscribed to that music thing, right, that he has, and I can't even remember the name for it. So no use. Anastasia. Oh, the singer. But I don't know why I wanted a middle name of Jason, though. That's the weirdest thing for me. Why would I do that? Could be. Could be. Yeah, well, silence isn't really a good thing on this, is it? So I'm actually also having some... my laptop is struggling with the screens as well. So I'm not sure this is going to be overly successful. But I did just want to pop in and read that. I mean, it's such a waste of time for you and for me. But we're going to sort out a drinkathon soon, I think. Yeah, I can sign in. Maybe it is that. I remember just making a bad decision to buy it, and I've never used it since, and I couldn't really get it sorted at the time either. Oh yeah, no, I assumed it was when you were a kid and not last Wednesday. You wanted to be Anastasia. I don't really remember much about her. I remember she had glasses. Was it like 99? I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember much at all. Yeah, I have an account with Soundstripe, so I don't know. Let's see what upbeat corporate sounds like. And then I think I'll leave. This is upbeat corporate music. No. See, I've got to sit down with it and go through it and work out what isn't going to make you want to kill yourself when you hear it. That's what I think. I don't know when it was. Yeah, I've got no idea. I just remember it being around. It was another one. The thing was the thing, but I'm just very confused about the whole thing. Very confused. Oh, tomorrow at, I guess, 9 a.m. Eastern, I'll be hosting Minddog TV. So jump onto that. Yeah. Be good, wouldn't it? There's a lot of weird noises here. I've got to go and investigate some noises in my plumbing, so to speak. Right, get lost, you goddamn pigs. I've done half an hour. That's enough time for you. Because, quite frankly, I only intended to do 10 minutes. And I'm sorry it was a waste of your time. I've got to find the better story for Disaster on the Thames. I've got to find the better one. But I am going to keep it safe. And I could rework it, but use like a horror motif instead of a kidnapping one. Instead of just a straightforward kidnapping one. Like wolves on the Thames Barrier, something like that would be good. Maybe. Too big an O1. Yeah, okay. I know it's around about that sort of time. 99, 2000. Now I'm going to have to go and listen to Anastasia, but I'm going to have to make a Soundstripe playlist that's not Brock stuff and also not shite. Because, I mean, why would you even have a category called Upbeat Corporate? Unbelievable. All right. Minddog TV tomorrow will have better energy. I'm going to prep, probably. Talk about some fun shit, and we'll hang out for a bit longer. Oh, she got Crohn's. Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, I might have it. I don't know. I knew someone else with Crohn's as well, called Bridget at the time, but it was my girlfriend's mum. They might be dead now. Absolutely no idea. Yeah, that's it. It's the shortest thing in the world. I just I've got to shower and do shit, and I need to go out in about an hour. Bridget Lapou, yeah, could be. I'm going to go out and watch the Brazil game. I can't remember who they're playing, but it'll be at 7 o'clock, which is in like 90 minutes. So bear with me while I do that. And yeah, probably do Minddog tomorrow and then a proper one of these on maybe Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, because I've got some stuff to do. I've got to go to a gig. So early Saturday, I'll let you know what's going on. Alrighty. Apart from that, see you later. Yeah. No, I get done for that one. I'll just do this, even though it doesn't make anything. I was going to say the word fence. I'm having a stroke. All right, I'm going. I'm just going.